Tell me what's your favorite sport in Olympics?
Mine? Hockey. Yes. I like badminton and shooting and all, but my favorite is hockey.
Oh, is it? Who's your favorite player?
Manpreet Singh. What about you?
My favorite game is shooting.
Oh, and player?
Saurabh Chaudhary.
Yeah, even I like Saurabh Chaudhary, you know.
Hi all, welcome to Fun Facts and Reviews.
Olympics is an international sport festival held every 4 years.
The major goal of Olympics is to bring all the world's talent together through sports.
It will create international respect and goodwill and thus helping to construct a more peaceful and better world. The ancient Olympics were held every 4 years during a religious festival honoring Zeus, the father of Greek gods and goddesses. The games were named for their location at Olympia, a sacred site located near the western coast of the Peloponnese Peninsula in southern Greece.
Their influence was so great that ancient historians began to measure time by the 4-year increments between Olympic Games, which were known as Olympiads. The Olympics became an integral part of ancient Greek society.
For over 1,000 years, spectators and competitors from across the region attended the ancient Greek Olympics. At this fascinating festival, they celebrated their religious beliefs alongside the sporting powers of local athletes in a variety of events. Although the ancient games were staged in Olympia, Greece from 776 BC through 393 AD. In AD 394, Emperor Theodosius of Rome officially abolished the game as he wanted to put an end to pagan festivals.
The first modern Olympics were held in Athens, Greece in 1896 and featured 241 participants from 14 nations competing in 43 events covering athletics, cycling, swimming, gymnastics, weightlifting, wrestling, fencing, shooting and tennis, and since then they have been staged every 4th year except 1916, 1940 and 1944 during World War I and World War II and postponed due to COVID pandemic in 2020 also.
Besides being the world's biggest sporting event, the Olympics is a celebration of human spirit, togetherness, fairness, excellence and world peace. The symbol of Olympics is 5 rings in different colors. Do you know what the rings and colors represent? The 5 interlocking Olympic rings, that is blue, yellow, black, green and red in colors, represent 5 main continents, that is Europe, Africa, Asia, America and Oceania. The color of the rings, which are on a white background of the Olympic flag, was selected because every country has at least one of the colors in their respective national flags.
The Olympic flame used in the Olympic movement is also a symbol of continuity between ancient and modern games and usually carried by runners on foot from Olympia to its final destination, Japan this year. During the relay, the torch must never go out. It's carried to the host city usually by celebrities or athletes. Among the thousands of torchbearers who carry the flame from Olympia to the host country, the first and the last torchbearers are particularly important. The last torchbearer is responsible for lighting the cauldron in the stadium during the opening ceremony of the games. The flame is kept lit for the duration of the games and is extinguished only at the closing ceremony. Summer Olympics and Winter Olympics are held separately.
The Winter Olympic Games is a major international multi-sport event held every 4 years for sports practiced on snow and ice. The first Winter Olympic Games were held in Chamonix, France in 1924. From 1924 to 1992, Summer and Winter Olympic Games were held in the same year every 4 years. Then the International Olympic Committee came to a decision to hold them 2 years apart. Ever since, every 4 years the Summer Olympics take place while 2 years after the Winter Olympics occur. With over 204 countries taking part in the Summer Olympics, the event is much larger than the Winter Olympics, which has only about 88 countries participating.
Over the centuries, the Summer and Winter Olympic Games have continued to occur every 4 years at different locations across the globe. As their respective games suggest, the 2 categories of Olympic Games take place when the ideal weather conditions best suit the sporting event's performance. Winter Olympic occurs during the season when all the sports which require ice and snow take place. The Summer Olympics occur in the summer, which enables most sporting events due to the conducive weather conditions.
Now, let's have a glimpse at the medal winners of India. The first person to win an Olympic medal as a representative of India was Norman Pritchard, who won silver medal in men's 200-meter race and men's 200-meter hurdles in Paris in the year 1900. A great Indian men's hockey team has had many prestigious wins and had won 8 gold medals in the years 1928 in Amsterdam, 1932 in Los Angeles, 1936 in Berlin, 1948 in London, 1952 in Helsinki, 1956 in Melbourne, 1964 in Tokyo, and in 1980 in Moscow, respectively. The Indian team has also won a silver medal in Rome in the year 1960 and 2 bronze medals in Mexico City in 1968 and in Munich in 1972 respectively. The other medals won by representatives of India are K.D. Jadhav bronze medal in men's bantamweight wrestling in Helsinki in the year 1952. Leander Paes bronze medal in men's singles tennis in Atlanta in the year 1996. Karnam Malleshwari bronze medal in women's 54 kg weightlifting in Sydney in 2000. Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore silver medal in men's double trap shooting in Athens in 2004. Abhinav Bindra gold medal in men's 10-meter air rifle shooting in Beijing in 2008. Vijender Singh bronze medal in men's middleweight boxing in Beijing in 2008. Sushil Kumar bronze and silver medal in men's 66 kg wrestling in Beijing in 2008 and in London in 2012 respectively. Vijay Kumar silver medal in men's 25-meter rapid pistol shooting in London in 2012. Saina Nehwal bronze medal in women's singles badminton in London in 2012. Mary Kom bronze medal in women's flyweight boxing in London in 2012. Yogeshwar Dutt bronze medal in men's 60 kg wrestling in London in 2012. Gagan Narang bronze medal in men's 10-meter rifle shooting in London in 2012. PV Sindhu silver medal in women's singles badminton in Rio in 2016. And Sakshi Malik bronze medal in women's 58 kg wrestling in Rio in 2016.
It's first time in the history of Indian Olympics that India bagged the medal in the opening day of the Tokyo Olympics 2020. Mirabai Chanu won the silver medal for India in Tokyo Olympics 2020 in the event of women's 49 kg weightlifting.
India bagged the second medal through PV Sindhu in the event of women's singles badminton. PV Sindhu is the first Indian woman to win 2 Olympic medals in the consecutive season. She won her first silver medal in Rio in 2016 and won her second medal, that is bronze, in Tokyo 2020.
And Lavlina Borgohain has assured her bronze medal by qualifying to the semi-finals and is aiming for gold.
Indian men's hockey team led by Manpreet Singh is also making great progress. They have qualified to the semi-finals after 49 years. And women's side led by Rani Rampal has qualified for semi-finals with a historic win. As an Indian, it's a great pleasure for us that Team India is doing well and we hope the best from them. We can't conclude our Olympic talks without saying about a great athlete, Jesse Owens.
James Cleveland Owens, also known as Jesse Owens, was an American track and field athlete and 4-time gold medalist in the 1936 Olympic Games held in Berlin. Owens specialized in the sprints and the long jump and was recognized in his lifetime as the greatest and most famous athlete in track and field history. In his autobiography, My Greatest Olympic Prize, he had mentioned about the struggles he faced to achieve his success.
My Greatest Olympic Prize is a true story of Jesse Owens' life, an autobiographical account of Jesse Owens' experience of true friendship in Berlin Olympics 1936, where he won 4 gold medals. The Chancellor of Germany, Adolf Hitler, was preparing with his performers to prove the superiority of the Aryan race by winning most gold medals in the events. But Jesse Owens, an American blackish, had other plans in his mind. He was determined to prove Hitler's theory wrong by taking home 1 or 2 of those gold medals, and with that goal in mind, he had trained hard and disciplined himself for 6 years. Moreover, a year before the grand event, Jesse set a world record of 26 feet 18 inches in running board jump at his university. So, everyone expected him to win that Olympic event easily. But when Jesse reached Berlin and went to the board jump trials, he was surprised to see that a German athlete named Luz Long was hitting almost 26 feet at the practice leaps. He also came to know that Hitler had kept him under wraps, hoping to win the jump with him. Knowing Hitler's cunning ways, Jesse got angry and more determined to win the board jump and to prove who was superior and who was not. But an angry athlete always makes mistakes. Jesse fouled in the first 2 trial leaps by taking off from several inches beyond the line. Then he thought bitterly, did I come 3,000 miles for this? To foul out of the trials and make a fool of myself? Jesse was clearly frustrated and kicked the ground in disgust. Suddenly, he felt a hand on his shoulder. The man was none other than the German rival in broad jump, Luz Long, who had qualified for the finals on his first attempt. The friendly blue-eyed man offered Jesse a firm handshake. Then Luz encouraged him and suggested to leap from a few inches back of the board. His tip helped Jesse eventually qualify for the finals. In that night, Jesse met Luz to thank him and talked about themselves, sporting events, and the world situation, among other things. Jesse came to know that Luz did not believe in the Aryan supremacy theory. They became good friends after that conversation, and Luz really wanted Jesse to do his best, even if that meant Jesse's winning. The next day, Luz broke his own past record, and that inspired Jesse for a peak performance. When finally he landed from his final jump, Luz was the first man there to congratulate him. He shook hands with Jesse firmly despite the fact that Hitler was watching them from the stands. This was a great display of true friendship and sportsman spirit from Luz. Jesse Owens went on to win 4 gold medals that year. But he feels that Luz Long's friendship was the greatest Olympic prize he won in Berlin. In fact, their relationship ended only when Long died in World War II. Owens adds a note after his story that Luz was the perfect example of the sportsman spirit that Pierre de Coubertin, founder of modern Olympic Games, had in mind when he said that taking part and fighting well is more important than winning or conquering.
There's a heart-touching news coming out from Tokyo on last Sunday as an example of humanity and real friendship.
In final of men's high jump, Italian Jean Marco Tamberi and Qatar's Mutaz Issa Barshin vying for the gold medal. Both jumped 2.37 meters and are tied. Then, the Olympic officials gave each of them 3 attempts to jump 2.39 meters. But both of them couldn't achieve the target of 2.39 meters. Then the competition proceeded to jump off. At that time, Barshim discussed with the Olympic officials and they agreed to award gold medals to both.
True sportsmanship, which is far above the religious, political, countries, or color of the skin boundaries.
This incident once again reaffirms the motto of Olympics that Olympics will create international respect and goodwill and thus helping to construct a more better and peaceful world.